Hey there guys, Snipers227 here, back with a just a quick tutorial on the building blocks level editor. In this tutorial we're just going to be going over the bare basics. I kind of skipped over it in my other tutorials, but this is just the bare basics of the editor. So we're just going to go through some really easy stuff, such as just creating, moving stuff, making things bigger, rotating it, and so on and so forth. So obviously over here we have our toolkit window. You can see we have the nickname, which you need. It's going to show over here, and then the level editor has its own unique ID as well. Nicknames just so you could identify it, because obviously they're just going to be named like box 001 or like ceiling 001. And obviously if you have a bunch of ceilings you can't figure out which one you are looking for, so if you have a nickname you know what ceiling it is and you could easily identify it. Then you have the type. There's wall, ceiling, floor, external model, box and prefabs. Prefabs, I'll go to a different one, but box. Notice how, well, box is just like a cube, but also notice that every time I switch, there's a setting already preset there for you. So obviously, prefabs and external monitor is all the same, but floor, it'll give what I think is the optimal size. You can always change it. There's the ceiling, and then the wall, you can see it changes. So to create just simple object, we're going to select box, name it just skybox. We'll pretend this is skybox. Leave the size as is and just hit create. Now to select an object, right now our selection is can be sometimes buggy, but I guess my best tip is the closer to the object you are when you select it, the easier it is, because if you go far away, you kind of see how it's buggy. You can see how it's like not very accurate, so the closer you get, the better. And when you select the object, you can see we got the mesh name, so the unique name to identify it, the editor's ID for it. This hasn't been added in, but the footstep or footstep noise is basically like when a user walks on it, what noise is going to make. Obviously you could have none for a box, but say you had like a metal floor, you'd put like metal floor.wav and it would make a metal floor noise. The on impact noise is whenever something actually collides with it. There's an exception, obviously the user is going to collide with a lot of things like walls, so that's an exception, but I mean like grenades or bullets or something. So if you shoot, again, let's say you shoot at grass, it'll make like maybe a noise, or if you shoot at water, it'll make a noise right there, and it'll play that sound file. Next, this just applies if your object was loaded, because obviously if you scroll down, there's 3ds Max and Blender, and obviously both of these programs export files differently, so if it doesn't show up, you could try switching between those two and see if your model loads properly. But yeah, you could always change your properties like I'm doing over here by just clicking it. Now mesh type, so you can see we have static, which means it doesn't move, it's just a regular object like a wall. Or animated, you can have animated objects, so maybe you have a car that's going to be driving around continuously in your map. That's what that is for. And collidable, obviously, the collidable field, is it collidable, yes or no? In this case, it's a no, but you could always change it to yes, obviously. Like I said, and you could change your properties by just choosing option, will automatically update it. See, you can see how now it's yes, but if I change collidable to no, it's no is selected. Now collision type, there's none, there's a box. So a box would be aligned A, B, B. So aligned bounding box. One sec. Let me see if I can show you guys. Why am I opening Chrome? That's what I'm looking for. So just open this tab. And basically it's just a box, a simple box or a simple cube like you see here, but it's fit for the objects. So let's say my model over here, I'm going to see if I could, I think there's a bounding box option somewhere here. So let's say I wanted a align bounding box for this model. Basically, bounding box, here we go. You can see how it would make a box around the extreme edges of it. So one corner of the box would be here, the other corner would be here, but the other corner would be over here, and the last corner would be here. So make essentially a box around it to fit the object. Just to show you, let's see if they have a visual. Yep, here's a good visual. So you can see how this model, there's a box around it, around each corner. Obviously, you can see it might not be that accurate, but if you're doing things like walls and stuff, it's a lot more accurate. So that's what that is. And then we have a sphere, which is the same thing as a box, except it's just a sphere around it. These are better for player models or just complicated models, because obviously a sphere you could, well, for a player model, a box could be used, but a sphere would be more accurate. Then over here we have our scale, position, rotation, so our size, position, rotation. You could change it, and it changes real time in front of your eyes, so we could scale it 2, 2, 2, and you could see the values are updated, like I said. Position 5 maybe on the x-axis. I forgot to mention, this goes, the boxes here are x, y, and z for all of them. So just go on the x-axis, y, and the z. Move on the x-axis, or the y and the z. And then rotate. Obviously you can rotate this box, rotate it 45, maybe 45 right now. You can see that it's kind of buggy, the rotation. It works, but for some reason, I don't know why, you have to actually click on the box every single time. But yeah, that's basically how you create a simple object. So that's basically the simple framework of this editor. You could always change it. I've showed you the properties and how to create a simple box and ran through everything. Can make the grid bigger or smaller. And yep, I guess that's it. So Snipers227, and I am out.